The story of Africville and the treatment of its people at the hands of the municipal government of Halifax has become the stuff of legends. 3 decades ago, Africville was a black community on the inner shores of the Halifax harbor. It came to a dramatic end when bulldozers demolished the homes. A new play reopens the debate about Africville. Was it a homeland or a shantytown? We'll talk to the playwright in just a moment, but first, here's a scene from Consecrated Ground.
I'm sick and tired of how the white man did this and the white man did that. I'm tired of it because this black man wants to do something too. I want to work. I want my child to grow up in a decent school. I want to live in a decent house, not some scraggly old shack.
A scraggly old shack? This all this is to you, a scraggly old shack?
Listen, all I'm trying to say is...
See, do you know that my great-great-granddaddy went and built this place with his bare hands? Honey, it was just him and the dirt. And all that, he formed that old acidy, rockety dirt out there just so he could feed his family. And he fished in the Bedford Basin. He did whatever was necessary. And yeah, he made and he gave love right here so he could raise and feed his kids. He was proud to woman. So don't you ever come and tell me that this ain't...
All I'm trying to say is that times change. All I want is the best that I can provide for my family.
Honey, this is the best. This is the best.
What's the best? This?
Joining me now from Seaview Park in Halifax is playwright George Boyd. Hi, George.
Hi, Tina.
Why did you want, I mean, this is, of course, such an incredible piece of history in Nova Scotia. Why did you decide to write a play about it?
Well, I've always wanted to write a play about Africville in particular, even from a young boy when I knew I was going to be a writer. Simply because it's one of the most serious things to impact the history of African Nova Scotia since, I think, people immigrated to Sierra Leone.
Now, what were your memories of it? You didn't live there, I know.
No, I didn't live here, but I remember community, a sense of spirit, a sense of, you know, family, extended family, and I tried to show that in my play, pick up those qualities.
Now, it's called Consecrated Ground, and that, what does that refer to?
Well, it refers to the fact that, you know, this place was settled from black settlers from the War of 1812.
Yeah.
And so it's older than the country itself. And it refers to the fact that it was desecrated. This was sacred. This was a part of our Nova Scotia black heritage, which was desecrated. I think that the symbol that I most focused on when I was writing the play was the fact that the church was raised. And they raised the church at midnight one night in the dark. There's really no photos of it, no images. But I thought, you know, that was consecrated ground, and it's just got desecrated by a bulldozer.
And in the smaller, I guess, more immediate, in your play, the mother wants to bury her child there, and they won't let her because there is no consecrated ground, they say. So
yeah,
it kind of has two meanings there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I thought it's a meaningful title.
Yeah, no, it's a great title. The play, though, also looks at the split in the community there, as we saw there in the discussion between the husband and the wife. Some people were glad to leave Africville. Some people thought that, you know, I can't wait to get out of this place.
That is precisely true, and it's a fact that the work that has been done to date on Africville simply ignores, I think. But I decided to face the subject with honesty, to be brutal, and to really not be vindictive in any way, but to show all the different aspects of the story, you know, and show that there was black and white, but there's also a lot of gray here as well.
Yeah, because, you know, I think in recent years, and, you know, you can correct me in this if I'm wrong, but I think there's been a sense to kind of, you know, color the past as wasn't it wonderful, and, you know, what a great sense of community, and no doubt there was, but as you say, there were also people there who were desperate to get out and thought, you know, how quickly can we leave?
And that is the truth. And most accounts, and I'm not just saying this because I wrote my play, but most accounts I thought romanticized the fact that Africville was not an easy place to live. I mean, it's a nice day here today, but the cold is nipping at my fingers. And, you know, people here, there was no electricity, there was no running water. People drank, the community itself drank out of a well, a common well. I mean, this was in 1965 in the middle of Halifax, as you can see, and people were still drinking out of wells.
And there were, and I know in your play too, rats figure. There were huge rats from the dump that was put there by the city.
Well, actually, Tina, over there, my dad used to be the foreman at Pier 9.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he hired a lot of the men from Africville that used to go down there to work for him. I referred to that in my play, ironically. But he used to tell me that the rats were so big in this area, because the dump is located right over there. And the rats were so big in this area that they used to scare the cats away.
Oh, my Lord.
They couldn't keep cats. These rats were huge. He used to come home and tell us.
Oh, geez. Now, you're standing on ground that used to be Africville. There you are in Seaview Park. And you mentioned the church, you know, which was raised overnight. I remember some years ago doing an interview about the idea that the church would be rebuilt and what an enormous sense of community that would bring back. But that hasn't happened, has it?
That's right. What happens is the issue has gone before the courts. The government has allotted $200,000 to indeed rebuild the church, but since they're fighting about compensation in the courts, somehow the fact that they were going to rebuild the church got caught up in the legal affidavits, and you know, so the church has been put on hold once again.
Now, where is the compensation fight? People are fighting for, they're saying they were wrongly moved from their homes, I guess. Is that the gist of the argument?
And not fully financially compensated.
And that's still dragging on?
Because there was a problem with the deeds, you see. Some deeds were lost. There was land grants by Queen Victoria that you couldn't trace.
Who's coming to your play, George?
Well, hopefully you are. A lot of people. It's been a cross-section of the community. It's got some really great reviews down here. I just hope the show finds some legs, you know, and goes across the country, because I think it's an important part of our Canadian history and our heritage.
Oh, it's a huge part of our Canadian history. You're absolutely right. Well, thanks for talking to us today, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.